It is another wonderful moment to learn writing tips. My name is Joseph Jacob. We are still continuing on the parts of speech. Today, we are looking at the verb. A verb is very indispensable in sentence construction. Most, if not all, of the sentences we make every day will be meaningless without a verb. So, what is a verb? A verb does two things. It expresses an action and tells a state of being. Therefore, a verb can be defined as a word that expresses an action or a state of being. But what do these two things mean? Let's use few sentences to clarify their meaning. Shinji kills a snake. In this example, the verb here, kills, shows an action. Look at another example. Shinji prefers soccer. In this example, there is no action. Rather, it tells the state of being of Shinji, who prefers soccer to other sports. Now that we have understood what a verb is, let's look at types of verbs. We'll consider 9 types of verbs, namely action verb, stative verb, transitive verb, intransitive verb, linking verb, helping or auxiliary verb, regular verb, irregular verb, and modal verb. Action verb. They are used to refer to actions. These actions can be physical movements of parts of the body or mental actions that are not seen physically but takes place in the brain. For example, run, remember, jump, forget, believe, walk are all examples of action verb. Stative verb. This is the opposite of action verb. It refers to conditions or state of being. It is used to describe things like qualities, states of existence, opinions, beliefs, and emotions. Depending on the context of a sentence, a verb that is stative in one sentence can be action verb in another sentence. For example, they feel sad. They feel sad is a stative verb because it's telling you how people felt. Now, that same word feel can become an action verb when we say they feel her temperature. Something like using the back of your hand to feel someone's neck in order to determine if the person has a high temperature. You see now that the feel in this second sentence is an action. Other examples of stative verbs are have, want, own, love. There are types of stative verbs. Let's look at 4 of them. The first one is sensing verbs. As the name implies, sensing verbs have to do with our senses: eye, tongue, ear, and nose. They go with words like see, hear, smell, taste, seem, sound, look, sense. All these are examples of sensing verbs. Emotional and thought verbs. Another type of stative verb. Emotional and thought verbs have to do with the things that go on in our minds and thinking faculty. We have words like adore, agree, appear, believe, despise, disagree, doubt, enjoy, feel, forget, hate, like, long, love, need, prefer, recognize, remember, suspect, think, understand. Another type of stative verb is the possession verbs. These are verbs that shows possession or ownership. Possession verbs include words like belong, have, include, own, want. The last type of stative verb is being or qualities verbs. Verbs that describe states of being. They include words like are, be, consist, contain, involve, is, way. Look at this example. Samuel's mansion has a garden. Henry loves badminton. These are examples of stative verbs. Let's progress to another type of verb called transitive verb. This is a verb that is accompanied by a direct object. The object is a noun, a pronoun, or a noun phrase. Bear in mind that both stative and action verbs can be transitive verbs. Let's consider some examples. We ate rice. The verb in this sentence is ate, and it is immediately followed by the object the ate acted on, which is rice. We ate rice. Another example is Mike killed a snake. Killed is the verb and is quickly followed by snake. Now let's talk about another type of verb, intransitive verb. This is the opposite of transitive verbs. Remember, we've said that transitive verb do have a direct object. So it simply means that intransitive verbs do not have direct objects. For example, Gloria sings. Sing is a verb, but it has no direct object. The sentence ends there. Look at the second example. The building collapsed while it rained. The phrase while it rained does not tell us or be or is not the direct object to the word collapse. So collapsed in this sentence becomes an intransitive verb. Another example, Chioma cooked while her baby was sleeping. Chioma cooked what? Which will have been the object of the verb and makes the verb transitive. We don't know. So the remaining part of the sentence, while her baby was sleeping, is not an object to the verb. So the verb cooked in this context is an intransitive verb. Let's talk about another type of verb. It is called linking verb. It is a stative verb. It is used to link a subject with a subject complement. Example of such words are appear, be, become, grow, seem. Look at this example. Ronaldo is a great footballer. Is in this sentence is linking the subject Ronaldo with the subject complement a great footballer. The second example, she looks beautiful. She is the subject, beautiful is the complement to the subject, then the verb looks now links the subject and the subject complement. Let's look at another type of verb. This time we have the helping or auxiliary verb. As the name implies, it works with other verbs to change the meaning of a sentence. It can change the mood or tense of a sentence. To achieve that, we use words like be, do, can, have, will. Look at these three examples. The weather is getting dark. You notice the auxiliary verb is. Getting is a verb in the sentence, but the is now helping the getting. It tells you that the sentence is about the present, what is happening presently. Second example is Alex Iwobi can play in the defense. It's telling you the ability of Alex Iwobi, and it is now helping the verb play. The third example, the team is firing from all cylinders. Firing should be the verb. Is now the auxiliary verb assisting the firing. Let's talk about regular verbs. A regular verb is a verb that its past tense, form, and past participle ends in ed, d, or the verb is a T variant verb. Now, let's look at some examples. When we have the present tense bake, we have the past tense baked. The past participle will still be baked. Other words that follow this pattern are close, die, end, invite. There are so many of them. Let's talk about the opposite of regular verbs, the irregular verbs. The spelling of past and past participle of an irregular verb change completely or may not even change at all. The past tense of arise is arose. It has changed. Then the past participle becomes arisen. So you see, it's quite different from the regular verb. Other words that are examples of irregular verbs are eat, fly, catch, set. Let's go to the last type of verb we'll consider for today, the modal verbs. This is a type of auxiliary verb which is used to give a sentence a special mood. Yes, it can be used to express permission, necessity, ability, or possibility. Look at example of modal verbs. Can, may, might, must, would. All these are examples of modal verb. Thanks for watching. Our next video will demystify the pronoun. Bye-bye.